I recently took a trip to Dearborn Music, and we're going to talk all about it here on this episode of Todd's Turntable Talk. Welcome to another episode of Todd's Turntable Talk. Before we get started, like always, I want to remind you all to hit that subscribe button as well as that bell notification to let you know whenever new episodes drop here on our channel. So it's been a minute since I've made a video. I recently had to move for reasons we won't get into, but I am in a new place, and so I had to wait till I got everything set up before we could start making more videos. And once I got everything set up and ready to go, well, needed some new records. Retail therapy is a thing, ladies and gentlemen. Then I saw a notification on Facebook from Dearborn Music. It is a record store, music store out in Dearborn, Michigan. Haven't been there in years, but they had posted that they had got some copies in of an album I've been trying to find in the wild that is really hard to find because it is so popular. Whenever people get it, it's gone that day usually. I might need to get that as quickly as possible. Thanks to my dear friend Glenn Birdsall, after I got out of work, we jumped in his car and scooted off to Dearborn, Michigan. And thankfully, they were able to hold a copy for me. I messaged them and asked them to hold me one, and they were able to so I could get a copy of this amazing album by Chappell Roan. This is such an amazing album. It is really hard to find in stores. I'll put a link to it in the description so you can try and track down a copy as well. Her style is so different and cool. It's poppy, but it's artsy, and it's a really fun bop of an album, but also a really amazing illustration of her process in realizing her own sexuality, and just harnessing her life. It is a great record, and I highly recommend it. And I paid about $35 retail, I think. Double album, not a bad deal. And the great thing about Dearborn Music is they have so many records, new, used, all in different categories. A huge metal section, a huge hip hop section, a huge rock and pop section, indie, stuff all over the walls. It is a great, awesome place. And they just hold the stuff over at the customer service desk. You go right up there and pick it up, and the people there are just rad. They will talk with you about music, whatever you're into, which leads me to this next record. We were getting ready to leave, and I'm like, oh, well, let me look over here for a second. I'm thumbing through some records, and I came across an album that I've never seen in the wild. I've only ever seen the vinyl of it once, and that was my friend Ashley Peacock had an original pressing of it he had gotten years ago for a lot of money. But it has recently been reissued, although I didn't know that, and I had to get this. And this is the album Flood by They Might Be Giants. This album is so unique, so cool. Songs like Istanbul and, oh man, there's just so many great ones. Birdhouse in Your Soul, Istanbul, Not Constantinople, Particle Man, Your Racist Friend. There's just album Whistling in the Dark. Like, it's so different, but very fun. It's like alternative meets polka, as my friend Glenn described it. But what I didn't know until I got the record home, and I'm a sucker for these, which you're going to see in another video on our channel, this album is not just an ordinary record. It is colored, but with a little green splotch in the middle of it. How cool is that? That is just really cool. I'm a sucker for these kind of records. So I was elated to find this, and I think I paid about $26. Not bad. Brand new, sealed. I'm not unwrapping them because I already unwrapped them when I got home. I couldn't wait. But that was my haul from Dearborn Music. They have so much awesome stuff. If you get a chance, if you're in the area, near the area, or even feel like driving a couple hours if you're not, I highly recommend checking them out. They are amazing. Their original store is in Dearborn. They have a brand new one. I think it's in Ferndale, if I remember right. Or Farmington Hills, one of the F ones. You have to Google it to find out. But they're awesome. You definitely should check them out. And that's going to do it for this episode. Next episode we got coming up here, I'm going to talk all about colored vinyl, a new thing that I'm super into more than I used to be, and why I pick the certain ones I do. We're going to have a lot more videos coming now that I got the new space set up. So we will see you all for another episode of Todd's Turntable Talk.